Before we dive into mental game, can you introduce yourself and tell me a bit about your journey throughout the game of golf?
My name is Elsa Clark. I am 26 years old and I am a certified TPI instructor here in Naples, Florida. I started playing golf when I was 12 years old, went through the junior golf and college recruitment process. I played 5 years at Florida Gulf Coast University, and now I coach and teach players about the fitness side of the golf swing and still compete as an amateur.
First question, what's a common mental barrier you see in golfers from high school to the pros?
I think a lot of players nowadays try to play perfect. I think they see the guys on the PGA Tour and the LPGA Tour, and I think they try to emulate golf swings that aren't necessarily beneficial for their body shapes, sizes, and movement patterns, and so I think they just try to be absolutely perfect in that regard instead of play their own game and swing their own swing.
How important is confidence and how can you go about building it?
Confidence is insane. So many people think that it goes up and down with how you're swinging it. It's kind of like which came first, the chicken or the egg. I think you have to be confident in order to have the right mindset to go into and prepare your golf game for whatever you're taking on in competition.
Okay. How do you think you go about building confidence? Is it just practice?
I'm a personal fan of golf mental books, so I'm a big fan of Bob Rotella. I like his How Champions Think books. Golf is not a game of perfect, all of those.
Yeah.
So anytime you can read a chapter or two before you go to bed at night, I think it directly feeds into your performance the next day.
How important is it to have patience throughout the game, whether it's just becoming a better player or like during a round?
I think patience is key in life. I think that's why golf is a direct correlation to life. I think you have to have patience for when things are going bad, patience for when things are going good. Because when they're going good, you kind of want to hold on to it as long as possible instead of continuing to get better. And you have to be patient through those periods of time, wondering like, how good can I get? It's like, just enjoy where you're at now, stay patient, keep working hard. In the same way, you have to have the same mentality when things are going bad. Stay patient, keep working hard. Focusing more on the process of things rather than the outcome of things is key with anything.
Yeah. If you could go back and specifically coach your younger self, what advice would you give?
Stop being perfect. Stop trying to be perfect. Just enjoy it, because you only get it for so long, and you only have the free time to just play golf for so long before life gets involved, responsibilities gets involved, families, partners, all of those things. So just enjoy the game for what it is rather than try to make it this perfect box, because it's not going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Some people say they're a scratch range golfer. How can players take what they do on the range and translate it onto the course?
I think if you practice like you play, so when you go to the range, don't just go hit balls, pick specific targets, pick specific greens. Even if you don't have that, if it's just flag sticks out there, make yourself fairways, make yourself 20-yard in width greens that you can hit to, because that's going to make the golf course seem bigger. It's going to make your target smaller, but in turn make your performance better.
What do you think the importance of a pre-shot routine is?
Pre-shot routine is your wingman. It's the only thing you can rely on. Oftentimes when you're in the middle of competition, your nerves are gonna get in the way, your head's gonna get in the way, you're gonna start thinking about future and past and everything but the present. If you can just focus on what's in your control, which is your pre-shot routine, that's key.
A lot of young golfers struggle with playing in front of a crowd or high competition. What's one way you go about handling that pressure?
I'm a faith-based person, so at the end of the day, the only person I'm playing for is Jesus. So I'm not playing for the performance or the approval of Joe Schmo who can hack it around and shoot 80. Like, he gave me this talent, and my job is to use it to the best of my ability for his kingdom.
Absolutely. What's the importance of visualization in golf?
I think your body and your mind are directly correlated, and so it also goes into play with all of your senses. And if you see the shot, if you imagine the shot, you're going to have a better chance of executing the shot, as opposed to thinking about all the trouble and all of the things out there. Whereas instead, if you fix your target in one specific spot, you just can kind of block everything else out.
And that kind of goes along with like positive self-talk. Like, if you're, my dad told me that if the last thing you say is like what your brain hears, like if you say water.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can talk about with that positive self-talk?
I think it goes back to the fundamentals aspect. Like if I get into a match play event, like I played in the US Mid-Amateur last year, and playing in that, I got caught up in playing the person instead of playing the golf course. And I think if you can take yourself back to fundamentals, and you're playing the same game every day, it might just be a different landscape, a different environment, but essentially you're playing the same thing every single time. If you can rely on your fundamentals and if you can focus on those things, the game's going to become a lot easier rather than allowing outside variables to affect you.
Who's the most mentally tough golfer you've watched play, played with, or taught, and what made them special?
Watched, I would say professionally, I think Scotty Scheffler is up there for me. You just watch how he handles himself on the golf course and then away from the golf course, and I think his faith and his performance are directly correlated, because once again, he's not living for people of this world, he's living for his faith, and that's about it. The best player I've had to coach, I've had the ability to coach. We have a couple Corn Ferry Tour guys in here that we work with, and at the end of the day, it's not that they don't care, but it's that they're living their dream and they're just allowing themselves to enjoy that dream and just focus on what's in their control rather than focus on everything that's ahead.
Absolutely. Last one. If you had to give one piece of advice to golfers struggling with the mental side of the game or confidence, what would it be?
Swing your swing. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. If you cast, if you hit it over the top, just play it. If you know where you're going to go, if you know that you're going to hit a 20-yard cut, play the 20-yard cut. Don't start trying to hit a draw, because you're going to start maneuvering and messing with variables that don't need to be messed with. So just trust your swing and just play with what you got.
Perfect. Thank you.
Cool.